All right, guys, we're going to look at a couple moments from the Bluffton game, some good, some bad, and break down what happened, and some good stuff we're seeing, and some opportunities that we can improve on as well. So, first play we're going to review is defensive throw-in. Right away, feel good about our marks. Some late runners that aren't picked up, but we turn a defensive throw-in straight into an attack, which is great. And a good finish from Cohen. But what I want to focus on here is, at practice this week we talked about third man, right? So finding a player to feet who is forward up the field and then anticipating with runners. And you can see as Gage receives this ball, we've got runners on either side of him, as well as a drop back to Nathan. And this is something that I didn't notice live, but a situation, a play that we created several times against Bluffton. So it was good to see that we were creating those opportunities before we really dove into that sort of principle at practice. Gage makes a pretty good decision here to roll it by his defender and play Cohen through. Cohen makes a good finish. But what I liked about that play is that Gage really had three different options that he could go to. And again, we've turned this defensive throw-in into an attack, which is excellent. Okay, next play is another defensive throw-in. Again, we do a good job of tracking runners, winning the ball, and turning it straight into attack. This moment where we've played Clay into space, it's a good decision, it's a good ball, good weight on it. Caught Clay into his stride, and another good finish, guys. Well done on the kickoff to force them long. Okay, what I love about this is that we've taken some time here. Logan has put his foot on the ball, made sure he could be facing forward to pick out his next option. Something I really enjoyed about this clip, guys, is our body shape. Dylan, Jenna, Isaac, Cohen are all facing the game more or less. They're all ready to receive on the half turn. We're able to find a player facing forward. Isaac solves 1v1, and then we're mostly through, right? We can play forward. The play breaks down, but situation where we have a pretty good build there. So again, Hartman gets facing forward. Body shape is good. If I could nitpick here, maybe we could check our shoulders. So Isaac, Cohen, maybe Isaac, you could check your shoulder and be more aware of this on-running defender. Maybe we can just bounce this back to Dylan, right? Or swing to Jenna. You can see Peyton's in lots of space on the backside. So lots of different options from here. Okay, we didn't pick the wrong one, right? There can be two right answers, two correct decisions, but just adding other things to consider here. Okay, another situation that we can look at here. This is an attacking goal kick. We play to the left center back. We find our left wing back, and then we build. All right, play breaks down at the end. But what I want to talk about is the good and the bad of the build, right? So set piece here, we can see several players, right, walking away from the play, eyes not on the ball, not jogging into position. I'd imagine that it's because we feel a little bit tired in this moment, right, which is going to happen in matches. Of course, my expectation, right, our expectation is that we're jogging into place, even if it's a recovery jog. That's why in preseason we did sprints and recovery jogs, not recovery walks. So can we get into position at least? Could we face the game at least so we're all on the same page, right? The other thing I'll ask is, as we set up this goal kick, our keeper, our center backs, they have eyes on the field, right? And if they see lots of backs, lots of white backs, let's pause, let our team get a minute to either catch their breath or get shape. There's no reason to rush a goal kick, especially in this situation. We have the lead. Of course, we're not time wasting, right? It's not about that. It's about just making sure that we're set and ready to go. So keeper, center backs, opportunity for us to kind of take inventory of where we're at and adjust. Right, we can see as we play that ball, now Cohen gets set. Okay, we do a great job finding the free man, right? We invite the pressure from their right mid, I think. They were in a 4-4-2. We find the free man, which is Cohen behind, okay? Then their right striker presses, which frees up Isaac, okay? In this moment, again, could we keep our head on a swivel? Could we scan and see that there are options to drop and swing, right? The ball just came from a space that we've now attracted a few red shirts. Can we go and play the other side now? Again, not wrong choice here, but maybe there's a more correct choice, so to speak. Okay, we do make the right decision in the end, right, to swing. We've attracted now 5 players to ball side. You can see that there's about 2 in the middle lane, and there's nobody wide covering our right wing back, which is Izzy right now. So great decision to swing. Okay, and now we're off. Okay, so again, excellent build. Watch it one more time. Good 2-touch. Inside of our feet, guys, well done. And we're off. In these situations, right, it's tough to kind of say what could have gone better, but maybe not every touch is forward, right? Maybe we drop it to Nathan and we get something built there. This next plays another goal kick. You can see Bluffton's pressing a bit higher now. Do a good job playing the next man, the free man. It's a good job counter pressing there. Gage is sharp on his feet, and we find the finish. So I love, guys, the plays that start from goal kicks. Goal kicks builds that end in a goal. Right here, this is excellent. Okay, we're facing forward. We've got options right, left. We could even maybe find the split here. I'm not sure if our center mid is in a shadow or not, right? But there are several options here. We make a good choice to play the free man. Okay, we can see the press now from, I think, their left mid, which should free the next man up here in the middle, which is our center mid. We just don't quite execute it, but I think we see it there, so that's excellent. And then we find the forward runners. Okay, this is the moment, guys, that we practiced earlier this week, right? The deceleration, making sure that we can chop our feet, keep the attacker in front of us, right? So excellent job closing down this space and being aggressive. Can we just decelerate enough in time, to keep this defender in front of us? Okay, but great job to stay with it, right? Get goal side, continue to disrupt. Good physical weight room, win the battle. And then again, sharp feet in the box to find the finish. Okay, again, another goal kick. You can see Bluffton's shape is pretty high, right? Again, I think they were in a 4-4-2, maybe with one center mid kind of holding back, but you can see that they've got 5 players pressing up, okay? And what we talked about several times this season is that we play short for a reason, right? We don't play short just to say we play short. We play short to pull the opposition up, and then we take advantage of the spaces that open up behind. You can see Bluffton's in effectively 2 lines, right? They have a little bit of depth with their fullbacks, but you can see a very clear forward line, right? And then there's a little bit of space, and then there's their next line. So can we play short to kind of manipulate them and make them predictable, to encourage them to pressure, and then can we play the space behind, right? The next layer is what we call it, the second layer. We execute this perfectly, guys. That's a great ball. It's a great touch to bring it down. That's exactly what we're looking for. We've already brought up the red lines. Okay, there's no reason to play short and bring them up even more. Okay, in this situation, great technical execution to execute the pass and the touch. Well done, Landon, for bringing that one down as well. And we don't necessarily get a great attack off, right? But lots of things have to go right for that to happen. But again, I love this recognition that we can play the next layer. But it's one thing to have the recognition, right? It's another thing to be able to execute technically. So kudos to you guys for improving in that way. Okay, this is the play that leads to the corner kick, which leads to their first goal. Okay, and one thing I want to say here, guys, is again the deceleration, right, to stay goal side, to keep them in front of you, to shape them, these things. But what I also want to talk about here is the situation here where we created danger where there didn't necessarily need to be any, right? There's one attacker who's really pressuring the ball. We have decent amount of time, right? Our keeper's facing forward, our keeper is set. Area of opportunity for us to improve on is for our keeper to take charge in these situations, right? Be vocally confident, verbal cues to the defense. Okay, if you have an opportunity to claim the ball inside the 6 and in around the 6, let's make sure that we let them know that our center back's trying to clear the danger, right? Which is what we want to do in an emergency defending situation. We can't quite get our hips turned to avoid the corner, but there's definitely an effort there. But part of our growth, right, as sophomore and freshman defense and keeper is, learning to be vocal leaders, taking charge of situations, and handling danger in those ways. Great. So lots of times, guys, we create technical mistakes, right? Where we give up this corner, okay, and lots of times we're not punished for those, right? So it's important to kind of talk about, even when we're not punished, we want to do things the right way because we're process oriented, not results oriented, right? So even if we make the wrong decision and it turns out in our favor, that doesn't mean that it was the right decision in the end, right? If we make a technical mistake, but we're not punished for it, it is still a mistake, right? In this case, we are punished for it. And I think you'll find, as we continue to play high-level teams, especially looking into the future as we play more varsity programs, those technical mistakes will be punished more frequently, right? So as we deal with this corner kick, we've reached this point where now it's emergency defending, right? There's no defensive structure or shape to us. We've been in a man-to-man situation. There's no solidity there, right? So if we have an opportunity to clear our lines and get shape, we should take that the first opportunity. Sometimes in these situations when we win the ball back, there's an offensive transition where we win possession, we try to do something like a build, which I commend you guys for looking for opportunities to build, right? We often try to do this from like a dribble or a 2 or 3 yard pass. You'll see it later, it happens again. But in this situation, guys, when we've been oriented man-to-man, there's no defensive shape or structure. We're kind of all out of sorts. We're in emergency defending mode. Let's just clear our lines and get our shape. Okay, and then again, we trained this week, the ability to decelerate, right? To not commit, not overcommit to the defensive tackle swing. There's no reason to try to win the ball back here. You can see I don't think Red has any players in the box. If they do, it's just one. So, if they're going for a shot here or a cross, it's probably not too dangerous. Maybe our keeper could be more central to the line, right? So that if there is a cross or a shot, we can come claim it. But there's no reason for us to try to win this ball, right? Let's just keep him in front of us, decelerate like we've trained this week on, and handle the danger. Player makes a good cut, good dribble. I'd say our keeper's not in a great position to claim that, and we can see the first goal of the night. Okay, this is Bluffton's second goal. Okay, and what I want to talk about here is our defensive shape, right? So we've got center mid in line with our right center back, and we have our right wing back deep as well. In fact, now you can kind of see our center mid is deeper than our center backs, and then our other center mid is just a few yards ahead. Okay, we talked about how number 2 is sort of their danger man. We're not really in a position to stop him from receiving the ball here. Again, some technical mistakes where we're not just handling danger. We're still trying to maybe complete a pass, a 3-yard pass or something to that nature. I know, we're at this point where we have a lead, right? Maybe there's some more emphasis in our head about, just riding the lead out, right? So maybe in our heads, without even thinking about it, we drop a little bit deeper, right? We play a little bit safer. But it's important, guys, that we play the same way that we want to play, right? We execute the identity that we want, no matter what the scoreline is, no matter what minute of the game it is. We're going to manage situations, and we can talk about those game moments and how we may change in specific moments. But with over 27 minutes to play, at this point we should still have a good shape. We should still have separate lines, right? A defensive line, a midfield line, a forward line, so that these players, right, number 2, number 12, don't have opportunities to receive the ball, okay? But if there is a transition, if we do win the ball back, we have players in positions to play forward, okay? We don't do a great job of holding on to the ball from this moment. And then again, what we kind of talked about earlier, it's the reach, right? There's one. Here's reach number 2. Okay, and then I'll say swing number 3. Okay, and then from this position, even if we give up a corner, right, after a player's dribbled through 2 or 3, 4 players, and they're in the box, like I say, we flip the switch to emergency defending, guys, and it's just clear our lines. Ideal is for a throw, or ideal is up the field. The next best is out for a throw, right, out the sidelines. But if we can't do that, a corner, we'll take a corner rather than a shot on our goal, right? It at least allows us to get our shape. But just a situation where we don't necessarily handle the danger. We touched the ball here a few times, right? So we had a chance to hold on to it and sort of not play out, but to clear it, get our shape. We had numbers behind the ball, right? So we're in a decent structure here. Red isn't too dangerous. We have several players between the ball and the goal, but with these technical mistakes, guys, of the swinging, reaching, stabbing, overcommitting, you create chaos, right? We create dangerous situations for ourselves. we'll come up against players who are technically skillful. They want us to make the first move defensively, right? They want us to reach and stab and commit because they can read your legs, your hips, and they can adjust quickly. They can manipulate the ball to go by you. And so as you continue to compete against higher level players, you will find that these technical habits get punished more frequently, right? So, again, this is something we worked out at practice quite a bit this week. Breaking down, right, the 3Ds: deny, delay, disrupt. And disrupt comes last, right? After you've positioned your body between the ball and the goal, you've delayed to allow your keeper to get set, to get their feet right. You've allowed your defense to get back and cover. Disrupt comes last. So you can see this is a chaotic situation, one that we've created for ourselves here, for sure.